Yo, 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 what's up? What's up? It's Coach Nick from MAAA Marketing, Nick Cavallo Marketing. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a fantastic Monday. And yes, I was there when they were sinking the boat and I saw the whole thing. So let me tell you what I'm talking about, and I'm going to connect it to running a business and how to approach running your business. So when I was about 12 years old, I found myself hanging out with a couple of kids. They were pretty cool kids, but they were not the most, how should I put it, well behaved children in the world. And we ended up taking a bike ride down to a local bay near where I lived. And at the pier was this old boat. It was an old beat up boat that was connected to the pier. And, it was low tide and the pier was slightly low, and you had to walk through down this narrow dock. It wasn't a full dock. It was just this bulkhead, if you will, right? With the big circular things in the middle and whatnot. So we walked down there. 12 years old, you're not worried about falling into the water. You're not concerned about anything in particular. So you go and walk down that bulkhead, and lo and behold, this boat was connected to the pier with a chain. Right, and so it looked like it was an abandoned boat. It was all beat up, and one of the guys that I was friends with at the time, I don't even remember his name because it was so many years ago. Like I said, we were 12 years old. He decides to come up with the great idea that we should sink this abandoned boat because it would be fun. Now, I wasn't down with that, but I'm there watching it, and I didn't participate. But obviously, it was it was something that the other guys wanted to do. So what they did was they decided that what they would do is they would pick up these big pieces of cement that was broken up and created a water bulkhead, if you will, on the shores of the bay, and they were going to take these pieces of concrete, and they were pretty big pieces of concrete, and they were going to walk down this narrow, narrow bulkhead and go to the boat and take the piece of concrete and throw it into the boat with the hopes of puncturing the bottom of the boat, or basically putting too much weight into the boat and making the boat basically sink. So this went on, and I'm like, guys, I don't know if this is such a bright idea. You might want to not consider doing it. And everybody said, hey, you know what? It's just an abandoned boat. You don't have to worry about it. It's fine. We're going to be cool. This is a lot of fun. So here they are getting these pieces of concrete, and they're walking down this narrow bulkhead one by one, like little ants. They're taking these pieces of concrete and they're dumping them into this boat. And, I guess after 25 minutes of doing this, the damn boat sank. It got punctured, water came in, and the boat started to sink. And then all of a sudden, you hear in the background, you son of a bleep, you mother bleep, what are you guys doing? I'm going to kill you, blah, blah, blah. And apparently, it wasn't an abandoned boat. It was actually a real boat that belonged to someone. So even though it was all beat up and we passed judgment that the boat wasn't in good shape and so on and so forth, it actually belonged to someone. It wasn't our boat. It wasn't my buddy's boats. My buddies didn't have any reason to do what they did. They shouldn't have been damaging this boat. It was none of their business. But because one guy said we should do it, all these other cats followed and started doing it, and they sank the damn boat. All of a sudden, we got a guy coming out like a out watching all this, and I wasn't even involved, but I was guilty by association because I was there. This guy's running after us with a shovel. We jump on our bikes. They were choppers. I don't know if you remember those things. Those things were those ones with the long poles in the front and the wheel, and we're riding and we're riding. And, I got to tell you, we were pretty good at riding bikes. I mean, me, myself, I used to be able to do tricks on it. No hands, stand on top of it, no hands, the whole 9 yards. But anyway, the guy's chasing us with the shovel, heart's pumping, we're going. We booked 2, 3, 4 blocks away. The guy can't catch up to us. We end up hiding in one of our parents' houses, and nobody got hurt. But we destroyed this guy's boat. This guy's boat was wiped out. So what's the moral of the story here? Let's connect this to business, okay? Sometimes it's not such a great idea to follow what everybody else is doing. In fact, most of the time, you're better off getting your own ideas and doing things differently than other people do, okay? Because they might be completely wrong, and following the leader is not the way to go, okay? And I'm going to give you a perfect example of this. Last night, had a little bit of insomnia, couldn't get to sleep. So what I did was I popped on my little Netflix. I'm watching my shows. There's something called, let me see what it's called. The Founder. The Founder. It's a story of the guy who was one of the founders of McDonald's. His name was Ray Kroc, okay? And apparently, actually, he wasn't the original founder. The original founders were these two brothers, a guy named Dick McDonald and Mac McDonald. That's where they got the word McDonald from, right? And they had originally set up a shop in San Bernardino, California, these two brothers. And the other guy, Ray Kroc, was a milkshake, right? He was selling these machines that had the capability of creating something like 6 or 8 milkshakes at a time. And he received an order from California where this guy ordered 8 of those damn things, and the guy couldn't believe it because they couldn't move these things fast enough, so it didn't make any sense. So what this guy Kroc did was he drove from Missouri all the way to California to go and take a look at the McDonald's and check out what was going on over there. And when he went there, he noticed something that was extremely different than any other restaurants at those times. Those restaurants, in that particular restaurant at the time, had a walk-up window where you would walk up to the window, place your order, and you would get your food in a bag. And you would basically get your hamburger, your French fries, and your soda and in a bag, and then you'd go and eat it. And this was a lot different than what other restaurants were doing and what was going on at the time. What was more popular at the time was having the ability to drive up, and a bellhop would come on roller skates or something like that, kind of like from the Happy Days scene, and they would roll up and basically take your order, and then they would roll back in, put the order in to the cook, get the food, bring it back. By the time the food would come to you, it would probably be wrong. It would probably be cold. Not much unlikely like what's going on with McDonald's with the bad making mistakes with the McDonald's things anyway. But they're much more efficient doing it the way they were doing. They had a system where they had speedy serve, where they knew how to prepare the hamburgers very easily, very quickly. They had a certain way to cook the French fries. Everything was assembly line, like the Model T with Ford. Everything was assembly line precision. And this guy, Kroc, connected with these other two brothers, and he said, let's do this. Let's create a franchise. Let's create something different than what everybody else is doing. Let's not follow the herd. Let's not do what everybody else is doing. Let's do us. Let's do our own thing. Anyway, to make a long story short, these 3 characters eventually had a falling out. Kroc was the guy who eventually blew McDonald's up, made it a massive worldwide company, and here you have it. They are now an industry standard for fast food, and they paved a different path. They didn't do what other people were doing. They didn't do what I did, which was follow a bunch of dummies who wanted to sink a boat that wasn't bothering them. It wasn't any of their business. So the moral of the story, you do you. Don't follow other people, because just because you think other people know what they're doing, a lot of times they don't know anything that they're doing. And I could tell you the same thing with social media. You get stuck doing the same stuff that other people do because it's easy, rather than pushing the envelope and going further and harder and trying something different. And I got news for you. Sometimes different is way better than following the herd. So check it out. It's Coach Nick, and I'm out here. Peace, everybody. Peace. Ciao.